I want to show you. It's a really automatic. I don't really need to suffer from anything like that. I want to show you. I'm extremely strong with the tonality. First, let me actually solve any one question. I already had done this. Yeah, because this is really just use virtually everything we do. So we can disagree. It's an easy one, right? Let me actually do this. No, I never tried it again. I really don't mind. I think it's possible. No. No, it's really easy either for me. But I'm not really stupid when in terms of tonality. That's really a ridiculous argument. 2-bedroom apartments for rent. Two-bedroom apartments for rent. There are many, properties that are available for rent. These are actually being rented. I'm actually looking for renters who might actually move into 2-bedroom apartment. This apartment has a 2-bedroom, but we have a similar type of properties. So 2-bedroom apartments. Many different apartments with the 2 bedrooms are available. Is there anyone who's been looking for their house with the 2 bedrooms? Please don't actually hesitate to contact us. We can actually easily arrange you to find one. I don't mind. It's really easy. Yeah. To say something. De Blasio, Mayor de Blasio right now is under fire because he actually criticized heavily the city's Jewish community after the Brooklyn funeral incident. There was a rabbi's funeral in Brooklyn, but he actually deterred people from gathering, definitely because of that fallout. He actually criticizes the Jewish community heavily, and now because of that, he's under pressure. He's been actually, drawing flack from the Jewish population in New York City. Oh, and the tonality itself is really simple. Mayor de Blasio is right now facing a difficult position in dealing with the Jewish population because the Jewish community is really somehow hostile against him ever since there has been a fallout, pitting de Blasio against the rest of Jewish people in New York City because there has been a forceful desegregation of the Jewish um, synagogue attendees who have been actually participating in the funeral service for this respected rabbi. Rabbi was, yeah, part of this in the funeral because he actually passed away, and the believers and the congregants were gathering inside the synagogue to literally honor this passed away rabbi. The late rabbi was, in an open casket inside the synagogue. I don't really know. It's really easy. Oh, what satellite images truly actually demonstrate that there is a luxury boat that has been actually parked near by the Kim Jong Un house. It's really kind of a luxurious boat island that's been actually near by the Kim Jong Un place. The satellite images truly actually capture this type of a stationed boat that actually comes in a full package of luxury features and perks that's been actually spotted nearby the Kim Jong Un. He's been actually retreated and his health conditions are not confirmed right now, but at least this type of a suspicious movement is really detected, right? Ha ha ha. Not yet at all wrong. What am I missing? Huh, it's really bad. Oh. 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 According to the statement issued by this passed away late ER doctor, this emergency doctor who was overwhelmed by the immense work demand, she literally put her life on the line. That means she endangered her life to rescue more people by treating them. She literally demonstrated the sacrifice that is expected from the medical staff. She was an emergency doctor who literally, feared nothing in a battle against the coronavirus to resurrect and resuscitate more and more people by curing them. And she was eventually, so overwhelmed with the war loss, she decided to kill herself. That means she committed suicide. She actually decided to take her own life because she could not actually, have a capacity to go on. She was completely over-demanded and overwhelmed with this excessive and excruciating condition in the wake of the coronavirus. That's really the reason she decided to make a hasty leave from this country, from this earthly world per se, according to the testimony that has been given by her dad. Her dad right now issues a statement saying that she was extremely overloaded with a number of people that are flocking to her hospital, and she was an emergency room doctor. Yeah, that means she was on the front line of accepting and accommodating more and more patients who are diagnosed with the coronavirus, who are actually in emergent conditions, who are actually in extreme difficulty to fight for their dear life, but she could not take it anymore, so she decided to literally end her life and take her own life with her own hands. Yeah, that's what happened, unfortunately. But her dad truly actually says that She literally risked everything. She literally endangered her life because of the immense task she was facing. It was truly a daunting and immense task that was, completely overwhelming and excruciating. So she could not actually make a breakthrough. She was a completely knockoff in the face of the immensity. So she eventually decided to curtail her life. She decided to give up her ghost in light of this Herculean efforts to maintain crisis. This is like, the crisis like no other that requires uttermost commitment. Even though she actually tried her very best to fulfill the obligation as a medical staff, but she couldn't carry on with this pounding task upon her lap. So eventually she actually, made a hasty and untimely leave from this earthly world by bidding a farewell. It's very unfortunate and tragic. There were many, responsible people who eventually, decided to make these tragic choices. Right? These tragic choices, I mean. It's very unfortunate. Put her life on the line. I mean, she could not actually, secure the safety that would be reserved for medical staff. It means, she literally roll up her sleeves and step up to the plate to be at the forefront of this medical emergency affecting the nation. She was that much committed a figure who was, truly brimming with the passion and devotion. And that was really fascinating. It's really heartbreaking to hear this type of sacrificial story coming from the battleground. It's really a humanitarian war zone and a tragic. It's really a humanitarian crisis, probably. So many people actually who are really fully cognizant of the daunting task ahead of them. They're really the ones who normally gave in to the pressure because of their dutiful accountability and responsibility, because they are never been a stragglers or truants who would skip their works, right? They've been very much faithful to what they need to perform and what they have to do. That's really amazing. And it's a very, sickening to hear this kind of story. We need to, at least reserve the minimum amount of dignity to the medical staff or and responsible figures who might actually be unprotected in the aftermath of the coronavirus crisis. It's really sad, right?